he was just hired to clean up. Nobody in the building ever looked at him twice. A mop in his hands, an old bucket by his side, and a quiet smile that carried both exhaustion and resilience. But what nobody knew was that inside this single dad's heart, there was more than just survival. There was love, creativity, and a gift that would soon change the CEO's life forever. If you're watching right now, stay with me till the end, because this story will touch you in ways you don't expect. And if it moves your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep sharing stories like this one. Daniel was 38 years old, a widower, and a father of a little girl named Emily. Life had not been kind to him since his wife's passing. Bills piled up, opportunities dried out, and his only focus became making sure his daughter never went to bed hungry. He had once dreamed of being a chef, studying recipes late into the night, scribbling down flavor combinations in a worn notebook. But dreams were expensive, and Daniel no longer had the luxury to chase them. So when he got the janitor's job at one of the city's biggest corporations, he grabbed it with gratitude. Cleaning floors was better than no income at all. Every evening, after most employees had left, Daniel would sweep, mop, and empty bins on the 12th floor where the executive offices were. But in his small backpack, along with the lunchbox he packed for Emily, he always carried something unusual: a small set of spices, a folded apron, and sometimes, a pan. Because cooking wasn't just his dream, it was his therapy. Emily loved those nights when her dad came home with whatever leftover ingredients he managed to piece together from cheap groceries. "Papa," she'd smile with her missing front tooth, "make magic." And Daniel would. Even with potatoes, onions, and a pinch of spice, he'd create flavors that wrapped their little apartment in warmth. One Friday evening, when the CEO of the company, Victoria Hayes, stayed late to finish an important presentation, fate decided to intervene. Victoria was the kind of leader people feared more than admired: brilliant, powerful, but cold. She didn't believe in emotions mixing with business. Life, for her, had been about winning since the day she inherited her father's empire. And though her office was filled with luxury, her dinners were often lonely, rushed takeouts eaten from plastic containers. That night, she worked late, her stomach grumbling as the clock pushed past 9. The cafeteria was closed, her assistant gone, and the vending machine downstairs was broken. She sat at her desk, frustrated, when a strange aroma drifted through the halls. Something rich, savory, and comforting. She frowned, curious, and followed the scent. Down in the small break room, she found Daniel. His mop leaned against the wall, while on the stove, a pan sizzled with garlic, onions, and something she couldn't name. He froze when he saw her. I'm sorry, ma'am. Sometimes I cook a little for myself before heading home. I didn't mean to." But Victoria held up a hand, silencing him. "What is that smell?" Daniel hesitated, then spoke quietly. "Just a simple stew. My daughter's favorite. She calls it Papa's magic." Something about the way he said daughter softened her icy expression. Her eyes fell to the pan again, where flavors blended in harmony. Against her usual strictness, she said, "May I try some?" Daniel blinked. "You want to eat this?" She raised an eyebrow. "Unless you think I'm not worthy." Nervously, Daniel served her a small bowl. Victoria took a spoonful and stopped. The flavors melted on her tongue, simple yet extraordinary. It wasn't fancy cuisine, but it was filled with heart, depth, and warmth, something she hadn't tasted in years. Without realizing it, she finished the entire bowl. "This is incredible," she admitted, almost reluctantly. "Where did you learn to cook like this?" Daniel shrugged. "From life, I suppose. From trying to stretch $1 and still give my daughter something that makes her smile." For the first time in a long while, Victoria laughed softly. "Your daughter is lucky. Do you have more?" That night, they ate together in the break room, the CEO and the janitor. He told her about Emily, about losing his wife, about fighting to keep his little girl's world stable. She listened, surprisingly touched, and realized that behind the mop and uniform was a man carrying burdens with quiet dignity. Over the next few weeks, Victoria found excuses to stay late. She told herself it was for work, but truthfully, it was to taste whatever Daniel was cooking that night. Soups, pastas, rice dishes, each one humble, yet made with love. And with each meal, she learned more about Daniel, about resilience, about fatherhood. In turn, she began sharing pieces of her own life, the loneliness behind her success, the walls she had built to protect herself. One evening, after a long board meeting, she asked him, "Daniel, if you had the chance, would you ever consider cooking professionally?" He chuckled sadly. That was the dream once. But dreams don't pay bills. Not when you're just trying to keep a roof over your daughter's head. Victoria leaned forward. What if I told you that your dream still has a place in this world? That maybe, it's not too late? Daniel shook his head, but her words planted a seed. The turning point came during the company's annual gala. The catering company failed last minute, leaving chaos behind. Employees scrambled, but no solution appeared. That's when Victoria made